So why choose me as your RV sales representative? Well, the first thing I want to make clear is that many people think that when buying an RV, it's like buying something off of Amazon. For a while, you do some research, you check out reviews, you finally zone in on that thing that is going to be the right one you feel for your needs, and you click buy it now. And 2 days later, using Amazon Prime, it shows up at your doorstep. Well, with an RV, it is unlike Amazon, and there is a substantial amount more that you need to consider outside of the research that you had initially, done. So, some of those things are, for example, once you find the right RV for your needs, the next thing needs to transition into how is that RV going to be prepared prior to you taking ownership of it. In other words, many RVs, when they come in from the manufacturers, unfortunately have a lot of things that still need adjusted prior to you taking ownership. That's why our dealership invests very heavily into a pre-delivery inspection team. This is a team of roughly about 20 to 30 individuals. Many of them are, actually all of them are RVIA certified technicians, which means they are factory certified and trained to properly run through and fix any items as needed prior to you coming in and picking up that RV. A common thing that's happening right now within the industry is these RV inspectors. And I think it's a good idea and it's a really good concept. That's if the person that's coming in and doing your inspection is qualified. To be frank with you, at our dealership, we actually don't allow these third-party inspectors. A lot of times they're a liability because they're asking to borrow, ladders from us or asking to borrow tools, and it becomes more of an inconvenience than it does actually a convenience for, the client or for the customer. And why I say that is because a lot of these RV inspectors range anywhere from $500 to $1,000 for you to get an inspection completed. And our team, they spend at minimum typically anywhere from 6 to 8 hours doing an inspection on just one trailer or on one motorhome. So I think, in my opinion, if I was the inspector and I have 7 or 10, or I mean, if I was the technician and I had 7 to 10 years of experience running through and doing, a pre-delivery inspection on an RV, literally doing thousands of them, I would feel a little disrespected if I had some random person come in and try to double check my work. Now, I understand it at some dealerships that, kind of are a little bit more quote unquote flyby, or people that have a little bit less experience, where, their technicians may end up be missing stuff. I'm saying we're perfect, but certainly we're a lot better than others that are out there. So why I'm getting in on this tangent is ultimately that is something that's super, super important. And I just find that, unfortunately, a lot of people don't consider this pre-delivery inspection. So that's really key. The following thing that we do outside of that pre-delivery inspection is myself, the salesperson, will actually run through and do a walkthrough with you on your RV. I'm very fortunate for that because a lot of other dealerships, you have a salesperson and that's all they do all day long is just sell RVs. So there's no way possible that individual can be near as knowledgeable as myself or our staff at Beckley's RVs, because they just aren't in and out of these RVs enough operating the systems to really understand how they work. So if you want somebody that is a professional that really understands the systems of your coach, then choosing us or choosing myself is going to be very, very good leverage for you and your ownership experience. So outside of me doing the walkthrough, there's also a lot of things that happen during that. For example, we keep a technician, actually there on site, ready to roll in the event that there are any issues during our walkthrough. So, what I do is, as you have any issues or if there's concerns or things that need adjusted, during that walkthrough, we'll simply make a note of it. And then once we're complete with our orientation, then I'll have a technician actually come back out and adjust or handle any of those items as needed. That way you don't have to reschedule, you don't have to bring the RV back or anything crazy like that. If they're just simple adjustments that don't require, some unique part that we don't have in stock, we'll get it handled right then and there. And that way you can leave, with your RV. And that's a big deal because there's a lot of people that travel, not only 1 or 2 hours, to come and see us. There's people that travel 5 or 6 hours to come and see us a lot of times. So I think that certainly is a convenience for you. So after that, after the walkthrough side of things, then that's when, the service side, comes in place. And I think I could do an entire other video just on RV service in itself, but I just want to share with you the things that I do and ultimately why I've been able to build such a good reputation for myself and, why our dealership's been awarded all these awards over the years. So I am nonstop answering phone calls and text messages, for technical support. This is really helpful for those of you that are new to RVing and are just now getting out there and using your coach. There's a huge learning curve, and many of you that are experienced that are watching this definitely can attest to that. And not everybody is mechanically inclined. So, the guys that are used to working on cars or in construction or whatever, a lot of time, they have no issues with RVs. There's a little bit of a learning curve there for them, but they normally grasp that stuff pretty quick. But, it's like my generation doesn't really understand water heaters or how HVAC works or, properly lubricating things. We don't really get that kind of stuff. So if I can help, assist in that learning curve or speed that curve up, that's ultimately what I try and do, day in and day out. So if for some reason it gets to a point where I am unable to assist you in that technical support or get something handled or fixed, then, that's when scheduling an appointment with our service department comes in place. Now, these are what I call like our specialists, if you will. So for example, if you go to the doctors, the doctor is normally very well versed in a lot of things. But if you have something wrong with your throat or your ears or, your nose, then they're going to refer you to a specialist, to an ENT. That's what we kind of call our guys over there in the service department. They're the individuals that have been here for 15, 20, 25 years. They can practically rebuild. When I say practically, they can, rebuild an entire RV from scratch and rebuild it, just like the RV manufacturer did. So these guys, I have so much faith in. They do incredible work, and pretty much anything that you can throw their way, they can complete. So that is definitely a huge difference in us in comparison to other dealerships. Again, I can go really, really deep into this, but I just want you to be aware of the fact that you're not just buying a camper and it's not just going to come out of the box working all the time, 100% of the time. Realistically, you're going to need somebody there after the sale to take care of you. That way, your overall ownership experience can be, more than satisfactory, because I'm a little concerned. There's a lot of people that came in the industry, that were first-time owners within the last few years. And, they may have bought during COVID when RVs were being, built maybe not up to the normal quality standard. And, they're running into a lot of issues, and they're trying to depend on the dealership that they purchased it from. And a lot of their dealerships are overrun, they're understaffed, and or maybe they just lack the experience needed to really give them the assistance that they need. And I feel bad because a lot of those first-time owners may really quickly figure out, hey, this is not for me. But I feel like if there was more dealerships out there that were really fine-tuned and lean and that could really help out, the clientele, then I think there's a lot of individuals that would ultimately end up sticking with the whole RV thing, and naturally, their cycle or the evolution of their ownership would just kind of continue to snowball. meaning like, the people that start out with a pop-up, that then go to a travel trailer, that then go to the fifth wheel, and then go to the motorhome, and then go back to the small trailer because the motorhome was too big. That's the type of experiences and relationships that, myself and our dealership find very, very important. And we're just looking at the long-term, overall experience. I want to be able to help, your kids, your grandkids, and eventually one day their kids and their grandkids. I'm in this for the long term. It's a career that I absolutely love, and I don't plan on, going away anytime soon. So I know this was a long video. It's like 10 minutes in so far, but I hope you just, pick up on the sincerity that I have and the genuineness that I have in wanting to ensure that you have the best ownership experience possible. And I hope that this video brought you a little bit of awareness on some other things that you should consider. And this is just really the tip of the iceberg. And there's just so much more that I can discuss. But just have faith in me. Choose us. Let me help you, on your journey. And I'm confident I will do everything in my power to ensure that you have a very good experience. Again, I'm Justin at Beckley's RVs, Maryland's largest and #1 RV dealership for the last 40 years in a row. I look forward to seeing you and inviting you out to the dealership here very, very soon.